Welcome back, guys. Stock up, stock down. Week 4, episode 3. Man, Ernie, Vic, Ace, and roll the intro.
What's up, you guys? Before we get going, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, but hear from our sponsors. Hey, let's go with taxes.
Yes, taxes.
When it's game time, you want your quarterback. Leader, clutch, big plays. But when it's tax time, maybe don't let your quarterback call this play. Reading a defense, yes. Reading a schedule, see, let's not risk it. For taxes done right, call the pros. Yes, taxes. Say yes to less stress. Remember, audibles are for football, not your finances.
All right, guys, remember, yes, taxes, appreciate you, Smiles.
Yes, sir.
The deadline to file your taxes is April 15th. My boy in the office constantly, so hit up my boy for your taxes.
All right, man. Talking about something we don't like to talk about, just bad teams.
But before we talk about the bad teams,
right, before we
talk about the bad teams, we had a lot of bad teams making bad moves.
These trades.
So we can go team by team, but a lot of the bad teams traded with each other. So,
right.
Ace, break down the first trade for us.
Well,
please.
the first trade that we have here, the Cap Slayer strikes again. He traded G-String or G and Chris Summit to get Lulu and Vic Peña out of the Dolphins. Sounds like a safe situation. How do you feel? You feel good about going to a winning team?
Yeah. I mean, the other choice was to stay in the Dolphins with Kevin and
Marzullo, quarterback?
Yeah. So
refresh the people's memory what my boy said right quick. Let me tell you, he did kill Gerster in our game alone.
You guys had a great game, though.
One game.
That's all
One
right.
game.
he burned him again, though, Ernie.
He just kept burning.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gerson. We just have to replay that.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to, I can't just think, but Lulu got saved.
100%. But the fact that he ended up being with another person that was also missing that week, I feel like it makes things...
Well,
I guess you're right, because but nobody knew Chris was missing.
yeah, but Georgie's missing is what he's saying.
Yeah,
Georgie being on the Panthers, Devin
right.
traded Georgie for Lulu for another guy that's missing.
Exactly.
Right.
But for those in DD lore, this wouldn't be the first time that Devin and Lulu play together.
Oh, it won't.
No, there's actually I'm pretty sure you can find it on the Done Deal YouTube page, where they interviewed Devin, I think on a show, because he was with Lulu and they went 0-3. And I think Devin's exact words were, or something to the effect of, I've never played with Lulu, so I didn't know how to throw to him.
Wow.
Which is a captain and a horse. So
You didn't know how to throw.
hopefully, don't take
To
me
a
verbatim.
receiver.
Don't take me verbatim. Okay, as you can see, I'm dressed in my Negra Star Spotlight. You know, I've been Ernie for too long. Giants didn't have a good week. For the rest of the episodes, I'm gonna be Negra. It's what the Giants. It's what Ernie needs. We're gonna put Ernie away. We have Negra right now. So Devin and Lulu didn't work before. Let's see if we can work again. Let's see. Both teams here to make a move. Devin couldn't afford. Went 1-2 with Georgie there.
Right.
Georgie was missing a week.
Right.
One could say he traded for somebody else missing a week.
Right.
However, you find a way to do something this week. You get a guy in Lulu. I think he's a good player.
We play him this week, so...
Good for you.
That's good for you guys.
Yeah.
That's good for you guys. The Dolphins also had another trade.
They made another trade.
They
Okay.
ended up trading to the Patriots Chris Martinez for Manny Redon, which,
Okay.
in my opinion, terrible trade.
For who?
Manny's way better than Chris.
Manny's way better than Chris.
Way better than Chris, 100%. Defensively, 100% way better, faster, and just plays defense better. And offensively as well, as a receiver, I'll take Manny over Chris, 100%. Now, if you're gonna use him on the handoff game and stuff like that, but you're Nico. You don't need that. You don't need that.
Nico has shown you he can get to the playoffs with anything around him.
But he needs better defensive play.
And he feels that Chris,
you're not gonna get it from
he
Chris.
thinks Chris is a better corner than Manny.
No, that's ridiculous.
There's insight that he was very worried that Manny couldn't rush Chris D in our game.
Oh, that's crazy.
He couldn't.
That's crazy.
Manny Rendon couldn't pull Chris D's flag.
and you think that Chris Martinez will be better at rushing Chris D?
Yeah.
I think no.
Sometimes being fast doesn't make you a great rusher. I'm slow as dirt, and I'm that guy.
Yes.
I'm that guy.
You have an experience that's different, bro. You have an experience that's different.
I'm just that guy.
All right.
Negra's that guy. Ernie's a muerto. Negra's that guy.
Your assessment of talent is
your assessment of talent. Listen,
my assessment of
I
talent.
think Manny
Damn, so I really thought low of you when I traded for you, Peña.
That was a terrible trade.
That was a terrible trade. So you're that bad? I really thought that I was getting a good Vic. That's why I traded that Peña.
You see this right here, ladies and gentlemen? You see this right here? This is the state of the league right now. There's a reason we're all wearing black. We had a bunch of muertos making. I'm sure there's another.
Yo, there's another trade. So after Lulu landed in the Broncos, he ends up getting traded to the Panthers.
Yes.
And that's how he ends up with Devin. So there's a trade between the Saints, Panthers, and Broncos.
Big team, big 3-1.
Big 3-1. And the Saints, at this point, John came in for Lasso because Lasso had that drop, which is crazy as fuck that we approved that.
The league approved that.
I understand that
because
the league approved
this say the trade. Say the trade real quick. I'm gonna give you some inside DDP information. Say the trade.
John gets Rafi and Alabao. He trades away Jaden and Smiles to the Panthers.
That's a fair trade.
The Panthers trade away Georgie and Ham, and they get Lulu and Pharrell, which is insane.
What do you mean? You're trading a captain in a tier 4 for a captain in a tier 4.
Yeah, who do you think won that bet?
Pharrell's better than Ham. Yes.
I'm sorry. I love Ham, but Pharrell's nasty. Locked down that corner and on offense, he's fast. Huh? He can get around us.
Were the Broncos winning with Pharrell?
They were 4-2.
Yeah.
They were 4-2?
Pharrell's that guy, bro.
4-2.
Pharrell's that guy.
They're 4-2 or 4-1-1. I'll tell you right now exactly what the record is. The Broncos are 4-4-1. Sorry.
Pharrell ain't that good.
Bro, but they're in the top 12.
It could have been Chris Martinez.
They're in the top 12. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to tell you, Chris Martinez has some bad play.
So that's a
drop that snap.
So that's it goes to my point. That's a trade that benefited both teams. Or three teams, actually.
I would say so.
Matter of fact,
for sure.
Eddie, play that play.
He just dropped the snap.
Chris.
It's crazy. Come on, Chris. Come on,
Chris.
My boy might have been a little bender.
I'm not gonna lie though. There was one on Pharrell too. Pharrell was covering Brian. He went to slap the ball in the air, and Brian still caught it for a touchdown.
That was okay.
Yeah, but that happens on defense. A quarterback has supposed
to. It was like out of nowhere. It was just what happened.
Say the white. Mira. Move on to the next trade, please.
All right. And then let's stay on the topic of the Saints.
Yeah, because they made a bunch of moves.
Give me the DPA insight on the Saints.
So the Saints, some of the Saints trade. The Saints were a couple of the moves. First of all,
they flipped Gianno and Vinny for Josh and Jaden. Crazy when
that was his 3-teamer
when
one.
Vinny got traded for Aaron. I want you guys to know this. Vinny got traded for Aaron, and Vinny got turned into Josh and Jaden. Okay, that is crazy. That is crazy work. That is crazy work. Crazy work.
He's lucky that for his play he wasn't traded for Rodgers straight up.
No, and not on top of that, Gianno was so Josh went for Vinny to the Vikings.
I'm sure Gianno blew up David's phone.
Went for the Jaden.
I'm pretty sure Gianno blew David's phones and gave him 150 calls. And until David said yes, he wouldn't hang up. I'd trade for that guy too.
Gianno's a good guy.
Good energy.
I love that energy.
And then what's the other move the Saints made?
And then the other move that the Saints made was obtaining Vinny and Diego. Because I guess Lasso at that moment, he thought Diego.
Just so you know, this trade happened before the last one you just said.
Correct.
Yeah, so I don't know why you talked about it after. Trade. This is the first Saints trade. Because this is the DDPA Insight one.
You know what, bro? I wanted to talk about this trade from the very beginning. But somebody said don't start with the Saints.
This is why we don't let you run the show. But go ahead.
Here we are.
Go with this show. Go with this trade. This is the DDPA Insight one.
This is the trade.
Yes.
Saints.
Put it up here. Put the tweet up here.
To the Jags. And the Saints get Diego and Vinny, and the Jags get Anthony, and then the Dolphins get Mike V. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that was Lasso saving his boy. That trade was denied. That trade got sent to the DD.
But how did it get approved? How is it?
That trade got sent to the commissioner. You should know this because you're on the chat. The commissioner put it to a vote, and the vote was a lot too little that they wanted to happen. So
what's the point?
No, you shut up. You shut up because I have a message. You shut up. I have a message to the league. To the league watching this show right now. Don't blame the DDPA for a move that 90% of you approved. We denied it, straight up. Juan Lasso didn't like it, went to Joan. Joan put it to a league vote, and the league voted it in. To answer your question, why is there a DDPA if captains can just go behind the DDPA's back and put it to a league vote or just show up with the player? I don't know. But y'all dumb. Y'all should have been doing it a long time ago if it clearly works. So don't come at us when we're voting justly and the commissioner's doing it.
I think the whole league owes Raymat an apology.
Raymat's a great guy. You guys made him quit.
He made him. He is straight up. Like I really do think that we owe him an apology because
it's
such a
disrespect. Quit on DDPA. We got 4 people now.
Just a disrespect.
And Angel has 2 votes because he goes to commissioner.
I just feel
you know what though? I don't like that rule though because it's like you said. What is the point of the DDPA?
You have a DDPA for a reason to protect the league.
To protect the league
from shit like this.
But at the same time,
you know what, Ernie? Because I feel like in the chat people vote to troll.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
Just like they voted me in the Hall of Fame and I wasn't even in there. That's what they do.
My vote doesn't even count.
But listen, at the end of the day, the way that the commissioner sees it and the league sees it is the DDPA is there for the people. And clearly the people did not agree with the DDPA.
At all.
This was the result of a trade, which this trade no one really cared about. It was just saving. But that turned into the Joan move that we talked about earlier. And now the DDPA wants to blow up because Lasso dropped,
he was dropping.
The point.
Because he's going to?
Colombia with
not me. What are you talking about?
But listen,
coincidentally, I will not be there on Saturday. You know, that's it.
On those trades, we had Saints, obviously. Yeah. You know, we didn't talk about teams like the Chargers. We didn't talk about some of the bottom barrel teams. But there was a lot of bad.
There was a lot of bad.
And there's only one person that can demonstrate the bad in somewhat of a good way.
Yeah.
Porque hacer it.
No te da pena.
Hacer it. No te da pena. What's up, you guys? We're back. You already know where we at. I said it. No te da pena. We got some more people here featured on the Crowd's Favorite Show, on the least favorite segment. So you already know. Eddie, roll it. We're going to start with the best of the best. Bro, Eddie, stop that. Stop. You guys been wondering why my man is not in the chat, you know, being as vocal as he was last season or in the seasons past. It's because of this. Show him, Eddie. It's hard to type when you got no hands, bro. Eddie, roll the next tape. My man. I said it. No te da pena. Next, Eddie, let's go with the next one. Here we go. Jeremy, good and bad. Streets, all the way bad. My boy Jeremy here, first play, first down, throws a pick. Fire play for you, bro. Then, Stritch tells him in the background, don't score, so we can get extra stats. Guess what happens on second down? Roll it, Eddie. Bro. I hope you put this on your show, you know, and you talk about this decision right here and this methodology in the next time you talk about this. Porque hacer it, da pena. Strap. Jeremy, you're on here for being bad, but you're on here for being good, bro. Good job, man. Next. Perra. Hacer it. Parece una papa rellena landing on the ground here. No te da pena. Next, we have a very special friend to the show. Somebody who hasn't been on here. We didn't think he was going to be on here. But sure enough, here he is throwing a pick to Stritz. I said it. You threw more interceptions than incompletions against the NFL team. And you out here making Stritz look like this. Nico, no te da pena. Thank you, guys.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the favorite segment on the people's favorite show.
Yes, sir,
it goes without saying. Don't be a muerto, you won't end up there.
100%.
We want to shift now away from the muertos, and we want to shift to teams on the upward or that were looking good and see how they did. See how they did this week. You know, week 3.
Week 3, correct.
We're gonna start with. Who do you want to start with?
We're gonna start with the Titans, man.
Good
After making
start.
a great trade to go get Aaron, he goes 3-0.
3-0.
Actually, he gets his full team with Peppers, Aaron, Robbie, Will, and Aniel out there. They go 3-0.
Who they play? Who they got now?
They beat the Seahawks 4-0,
Jeez.
the Saints 4-0, and then they beat the Rams 4-2.
Wow.
Piggy had 11 touchdowns total with a thrown interception. He caught 3 picks.
Jesus.
4 flag pulls.
All over the.
Play that.
Oh, yeah. Play that. Oh, my gosh. Mike V threw this ball. Mike V told me the other day, he's like, man, Smiles was supposed to do a hit.
But no matter what he did, that guy caught the ball between his legs.
Between his legs.
Obey this.
He just did it. He did it on purpose, too. We know it.
You know what? I was roughing that game. So the play before, he goes for like a bat down, and he missed it with one hand. The next play, Mike Vick just throws a lollipop,
And he won it.
and he went and got it like a basketball, bro. I was like,
Bigie's different, brother.
Yo, Aaron had 10 catches, 5 flag pulls, 5 touchdowns, 3 sacks. He went and got a rusher because he didn't have a rusher on his team.
He went and got the number
good.
1 overall player in the league.
yeah.
Great player, great player. Honestly, he did a great
Jesus.
job. He also got Will Diaz pretty much for free.
He got
out of
Aaron
the
and was able to
Dolphins.
keep Peppers.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Who they got coming up? Because that's one of
So-
my top teams, bro. And the top teams didn't do so
Coming
top.
up now, they got the Falcons at 8 a.m. We'll
Okay.
call him back because he didn't show up week 3.
Red shirt.
They got the Vikings, which is a good and up and coming team. They have a solid team. They
got a
also
good
made
team.
a trade. They got Vinny, who's missing, so
They'll be 5 hard.
They'll be 5 hard, but they have a solid squad. And then they got the Bears at 11:45. So they have a gauntlet.
Tough schedule.
They have
I
a
don't know
tough
about Gauntlet
schedule.
because they're playing a team 5 hard, which is basically one of the top players.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say Gauntlet.
The Bears have a better rounded team now. They have Gianno for
and then,
Jaden.
but you still start the day with the Falcons and you end the day
Falcons
with the
aren't good,
Bears.
bro.
Yeah, Bobby, the
mean-
Falcons got lucky. The only reason we didn't talk about them before is because they didn't make a move. And now they would have been in that first segment. Moite.
Facts. Facts.
That's the thing. Obviamente. But no, they're on the up and up. That's again for me.
sure.
That's the number 1 roster.
Another 3-0
sure.
week for them is
Yeah.
the bare minimum, right?
For sure, 100%.
Yeah, that's the expectation. With
That's
that
the
roster,
expectation.
expectation every week going forward.
Another team that's moving up that was already doing well, especially after a trade that they made, the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
With Stritz,
The
man.
stud of the week.
Stud
Stock
of the
up.
week. Stock up, Stritz, man.
Bro.
Stritz had a
One-handed
solid
pick on
game,
Nico.
Bro. He did. No, that wasn't one-handed. It went right to his chest. It was like he jumped the route because
Oh, he jumped the row?
it was a bad play. Show that play. Freaking Roger to this day hasn't moved from the spot, where he curled that. He curled at that spot. He never moved.
Yeah.
Swazzle comes behind him. Stritz read it, and he just went in and intercepted
Good
that
play.
pass. That was a really good play by him. Man, he had 10 touchdowns thrown, no interceptions. He ran one in or caught one in, which
The
was a
pick.
pick six.
Stud of the week.
Got
Six,
to
six.
put on my segment.
100%.
60%.
Good week.
Oh, good. Wait, Stritz got put on your side?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
not
did.
because
Why?
he did bad, because what he did for.
No, he did something.
Oh, he did that?
Yeah.
What'd he do?
Yeah.
You saw me, you saw it already, guy.
Yeah.
What did Stritz do?
I'm gonna tell you. So
Wow.
Jeremy throws a pick,
Cut
first
this.
play. What's his name? The Cowboys captain catches
Ronnie.
a pick, runs back. Stritch is saying, "Don't score, don't score." Puts the ball at the 1. Guess what happens? First, second, and third down.
No-
Not good.
Not good. Oh,
I said it.
I said it. That's pena. That's pena.
Thought he was Nico there,
I'm
Bobby.
sorry.
Got
Listen.
sacked, threw an incompletion, and then Jeremy batted third down.
Jesus. Hey,
I will say though, Rodney's balling.
Bronny's balling out, bro.
9 catches, 7 flag pulls, 4 receiving touchdowns, and 3 INTs caught.
the only reason that you're not
And
the
he
stock
threw a
up
passing touchdown.
here is because we got to get the stock up to the start of the
Yeah,
week.
100%.
Only makes
Even though
sense.
he
But
did
Ronnie,
some pena
you stock up 1B.
For
Yeah,
100.
bro.
Stock
Now
up
this
1B.
team is
I got-
stacked, bro. They got Brian, Chris, Robinson, Genesis.
Genesis is the worst player.
Stritz
That's
is
a
the
good GM,
worst.
huh?
Stritz is the worst. I mean,
Ronnie did a
John.
good GM job.
No, John drafted this team. John drafted.
Yeah, but then
this
Stritz
team.
made the moves.
Stritz
He
did
got
make
himself
the
to the Cowboys, and
Yeah.
then from
Yeah.
there he took over.
Yeah. I mean,
Ronnie's the captain, but Stritz
Damn,
just made the moves.
he colluded like that. He got himself to the Cowboys. You think?
There's collusion behind every trade. We're just we're just here to prove if we
He
can
didn't
prove it
do
or
well-
not.
He didn't do good week 1. So
Yeah, he balled out after. I mean, they were 5 hard, but yeah, I mean, Cowboys, another team looking up.
Another team looking up.
talk to me about the teams that were looking up and they're not looking so up right now.
Well, remember the Vikings? They're on the downward spiral.
Oh yeah.
The Vikings. They
Yeah.
were looking up from week 1. Then they make trades, and then now
They're
they're,
the,
a
they're the
whole new
cardiac.
team.
They're the cardiac sign.
Did this play have anything to do with the Vikings? Right here, my boy Deion Sanders high stepping, drops the ball 16 yards of the end zone.
Oh, that's right.
That's not the reason you got. That's not the reason you got traded, though.
That's right. That's
Bro,
another
listen, if you're
reason
getting
you got
traded a lot, Josh, it's because you got value.
Yeah,
Tell 'em.
for sure, 100%. You got value.
Value. And
You got good value.
value and
And I'm no bullshit. I got 3 stars,
Yeah.
and I was traded like 11 times my first couple seasons, Bobby. Stay with it. You just can't take this league seriously. Troll
for
back.
sure.
You start fighting with him at 1 a.m. Not a good look.
Not a good look.
Not a good look. Not a good look, my friend.
But bueno, you
Stock
know,
up to Dusty. He had 16 catches, 4 touchdowns, and an INT.
See, that Nick Q offense is dip and dunk, boy. That's I repped a couple of those games.
He had 8 passing touchdowns. He threw 2 interceptions. I mean, almost 75% completion, bro.
I forgot what team they beat. I think they might have beat the Falcons, who picked up Kevin. They beat them 4-0, but it took all 30 minutes. It's the
What?
weirdest 4-0 I've ever seen in my life.
That's crazy.
It's 4-0. I won't take it away from them.
That's crazy.
Or 4-1. I don't know. It was belt
Drew
task.
couldn't score one
But it took
touchdown.
it took all 30 minutes, brother.
Yo, that's insane.
But we're talking about the Vikings here, and I'll talk about the Falcons. We'll get to them eventually.
yeah.
Vikings looking
Jason's-
good right now.
Yeah, looking good. They traded for Vinny.
Who
They
they
have
got?
Vinny now.
They got Vinny for
Instead of Josh.
Right.
So now
So who-
it's
they got-
Jason, Dusty, Campos, Pep, Nick, and Vinny.
All right. So then next week, going 5 hard. Who do they play? Week 4 now.
Right now, going
Yeah.
five
They play PG?
hard, they play the Bears first.
Okay.
Then they play the Titans
that's a
and
gauntlet.
Vicky. And then they play the
Washington.
Commanders.
That's a gauntlet.
That's a pretty tough schedule
That's a
for
tough
being
one.
5 hard.
Yeah, that's definitely
That's a tough. I mean, Aniel is not gonna touch the field with the. Yeah, it's a tough schedule.
Yeah.
Vikings,
Well, no.
Nick Q. Show us what
They're,
you got,
they're
Pops.
5 hard. The Vikings are 5 hard.
That's what I'm saying.
Daniel is going to be on the field the whole time. Whole time. That's what he said. That's what he said. All right, where we going?
Hey,
Hey,
that's also he knows.
hey,
how you're
listen.
serious.
Guess who's coming up? The GOAT, bro. The GOAT.
Who?
The GOAT went 3-0.
Who's the goat?
David.
David, the Bears.
and the Bears.
Yo, no Jaden. Guy
No,
shows.
Jaden. The guy doesn't show up. This
The
guy
guy.
balls
Listen,
out.
you go 3-0, 5 hard with Jeezy on the field.
Who they beat?
I'll tell you right now. They beat
They beat the Chargers.
the Chargers 4-3.
Like everybody else.
They
does.
beat the they beat the Rams 4-1, and then they beat the Saints 4-3, which it's kind of surprising because the Saints, you know,
Bro, it's done deal.
had
Anything can
nobody
happen.
there. I will say, bro, Petey's leading the league in receptions.
Yeah,
It's
stock up
crazy.
again.
18 catches, 6 flag pulls, 4 touchdowns. He caught a pick as well.
He threw a pick to Hulk, too.
He did throw a pick.
Stock up.
Would that make
He
the
did throw a
segment?
pick,
Who
but
knows?
That's okay. Who knows? David, he had 12 touchdowns passing, 0 picks thrown, 72% completion. He balled out, bro. He balled out.
Who's he got coming up now?
Up next, the Bears have
This is making a break your week for them.
the Vikings at 8:45, the Broncos at
5 hard
10:15,
with Vic.
and then the Titans.
Okay, that's another tough schedule.
11:45.
Yeah.
2-1. I see 2-1. I think
2-1.
they got to go 2-1. I think the move for Gianno, there's continuity. They just played together. Was it last season with the
Yeah.
Steelers?
Yes.
And Gianno probably brings that energy that Jaden might have been lacking. Jaden's a very quiet kid.
Yeah.
So Gianno, Bobby,
He's also gonna show up.
you got
So
saved.
He's gonna be there.
No, Gianno's probably at the park already. By the time this airs, he's probably at the park.
He bought the real estate to the park. You know.
He probably did, bro.
You know, about a team that was looking very hot, that didn't look so hot. We
We got 2 of those.
We had 2 of those, but one of them, you know, it's you're part of them. The Giants, man. What
Have you
a
requested a
curve.
trade? Yeah.
What a curve.
I don't request trades.
Chris
I'm,
D
Yeah,
stock down. He called himself stock down last week when he was out here, and he definitely went stock down. He had 5 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions thrown,
yeah, listen.
68% completion. He wasn't doing too
No,
hot.
stock
man.
down for them. It's got to be G. Yeah.
Chris
No, G.
G.
G was stocked down in the Dolphins game.
Okay.
Couldn't cover Marzullo.
Oh, you're talking about Gerson. I was like, G.
Yeah, G. No,
I
but
only have one
listen,
G in there.
we
Yeah,
came out
G.
8 in the morning, came out a little flat,
Low flat.
beat the Texans 1-0
G had a
in
little-
what some would call the absolute most dog shit game in done deal
1-0
history.
is crazy.
We don't
30
have any video. We don't have any video to show that game.
Yo, somebody told me, have you seen the Texas Giants game? I
It's-
went to go watch it. I was like, bro, why'd you give me this?
Listen,
0 highlights.
listen
from
to
that
the-
game. There was 1 touchdown.
to the Panthers,
Crazy.
to Devin, to then Georgie, to then Ralphie. I'm really sorry that your morning started with that. That might have been the reason you went 1-2 on the week. That might have been the reason you had to blow it up
They were
because you had
taking
to
notes.
you had to watch us play. I'm sorry. We did win that game, but then after that, the Patriots game, we got really hyped up for that one. Great game. It felt at one point the whole league kind of stopped and was watching that game. Roger
was there.
just got called for
Yeah.
another holding now.
That was a good play. That was a good game.
Great game. And then after that, bro, Dolphins 5 hard. Vinny catching pick sixes. Lulu throwing full field touchdowns to
We got you out of there quick.
Marzullo.
We got you out of there quick.
Yeah, but that game might have lasted like 10 minutes.
For real?
Yeah, it was
Damn.
super quick, bro.
Those guys must have not have been doing good to play so good in that
Yeah.
game.
Bro, no,
sure,
we like
for
we what happens is that we got really high with the Patriots game. We thought we had a gimme
Yeah,
with the
for
Dolphins,
sure.
and we had gimme paletas what they gave us.
I
nigga.
want to say stock up Adam. Bro, 10 catches, 4 flag pulls, 2 touchdowns.
No, he balled out.
He balled out.
You know who also balled out?
Who?
Alex G.
Alex G.
Yeah, Alex G.
Oh.
Had a tutty.
You know, shut him out for real, bro.
No, I'm gonna shut him out.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
You know what? Before we
bring it
shout them out, we're gonna
Bring
take
it
this
in.
time to shout out the people that really matter. Eddie, do the league a favor. Roll negative star spotlight, please.
Yes, sir.
Right. No, still not in the Hall of Fame. No, I know. Well, let me let you go. I got to point out the good people in Done Deal. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Week 3 is in the books. And we had a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of stars to start on the show. None bigger than a man who's been here before. Let's get right to it. First, on Negative Star Spotlight, we have my very own teammate, Alex G. The game itself, paid no attention to it. Ugliest game in Done Deal history. The only reason I'm putting this play on my segment is because Alex deserves it, and it ended up being the only touchdown scored in the entire 30-minute flag football game. Right here, 3rd and long. Chris D makes a move. Alex is in the back of the end zone. We have tier 6 on tier 6 crime. Alex G on Malibu. Tippy toe catch. He's used to doing it. Look at Ant's reaction. He can't believe it, but he should. That's a Más o Menos guy. He does it for him all the time. Throw that man the ball. But apart from that, this game was hideous, absolutely disgusting. It was a shame to be a part of. However, we're going to highlight the positive. And Alex, today, you're on Negative Star Spotlight. Coming in at 2nd place, we got Mr. Energizer Bunny himself. And if you don't know why they call him that, you should ask him. That boy Yoyi. I think he's on the Bengals now. I don't know what team he's on. He was on the Vikings. I'm just kidding. He's on the Bengals. Right here you see him back in the end zone. A little bit of a bubble, but he manages to get not 1, but 2 feet down. Big touchdown score at 5'2". Highly impressive. Yoyi, today you're on Negative Star Spotlight. Coming at the 3rd video, it might be my favorite one of the day. Happened early in the day. As you can see, we got the Bears. We got the Chargers. At this point in the game, you think the Chargers are feeling good because handoff to Petey. Petey throwing off his back foot. I don't know what he was doing, but look at my boy Hulk. Look at the hair flowing in the wind. Big pick on the goal line. Runs it down. Has a lead blocker in Kurt. What a captain. Just going down the field, going down. They call him short. You see the flagpole. I would have called him in personally. However, my boy Hulk, game-changing pick. Now, the Chargers did lose this game. Nothing new there. But Hulk, for the Chargers, my man, today, you're on Negative Star Spotlight. Now, Eddie, before you change the video, go ahead and please let it roll because our next player is not only a great player on the field, he's also great behind the camera. Look at him. Jeremy, I told him Hulk was going to be on my segment. But little did you know, so were you. Look at this dot right here. Look at this game winner on the 49ers. Back of the end zone. Naples doesn't even jump, doesn't even move, falls in the basket. You can see Ray loses his shit. Kevin loses his shit. Does not matter. Not only are you a great cameraman, but you're freaking throwing dots, kid. Now let's just get some wins. But for today, the positive, you're on Negative Star Spotlight. Boys, back to you.
I don't want to ball out, you guys.
Yeah, keep
Hell
balling.
yeah.
Keep balling,
out,
bro.
man.
You know,
Do your
do
thing.
the league a favor. You know, you guys are those guys that, you know, we expect the most out of, but also,
Those bottom tiers are what win stars
100%.
at the end of the day.
100%.
People call you muertos, Nico. You guys aren't muertos. You guys are what makes a team great.
Well,
All right?
speaking of
to,
Nico.
yeah, to that point, now you have one of those guys going at quarterback.
Right. So the Patriots. Let's talk about the Patriots. They're missing 2 guys.
Nico
coming up.
and then Chris after
They
that
have
trade.
Brian, Suazo, Andres, and Roger, and we don't know who the 5th guy is. Somebody's gonna have to.
Who realistically is going to help Nico?
I don't think.
and a team that's
anybody-
8
I don't
and
think
8 and
anybody
1.
Exactly.
will.
I feel like you wouldn't want to give them a free win
You
or
don't.
even any chance at
I mean, look, Roger last year I played with him. We managed to tie a game.
Tie game.
I think if the Patriots are able to tie a game this week, it's a great schedule. They are playing teams that are 5 hard.
They got a
You saying-
soft.
you
They
saying
got
they
a
have to
very
play 4 hard,
soft,
Ernie?
soft schedule.
No, they'll probably end up picking up like a tier 3 or 4. You know, one of these people that like loves to play football is going to end up playing. I don't think it's good for any team to have to play 4 against 5. The same argument that
the
the
Saints
chat,
are not 5.
the
hard, though.
same argument that the chat has been making about an unfair advantage to teams missing players.
Right.
I think for the most part, the chat would make the same argument that no one wants to see a 4v5 game.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Listen, free wins are free wins, but one
Right.
thing is, beating a team with and maybe an extra tier 6 or 5 hard that isn't the best.
I'll play 4v4. I won't give them another play.
Like they don't have to like play. But the thing is, I think the league, obviously, they don't want teams getting too good. But I also don't think they want to see a 4 versus 5 game. Maybe they do.
Right.
You want to get the wins that you
know
can.
what, Ernie? That forces you to make a trade. Then
Yeah.
It forces you to not.
It's just-
But in this
It's
case,
part of it, bro.
since we're talking about the Patriots, the Patriots traded knowing Chris M was going to miss. So then it's like, why help them knowing they made that trade?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly
That's
my
the
point.
part that
So,
I don't understand.
again, it's up to-
something in the background must have shown him and told him
Obviously,
you're gonna be able to get
yeah.
somebody for me and not for Chris.
Obviously, there's a no, not even that. I think Nico is pretty sure that the team's gonna go 0-3.
Yeah.
So he's thinking about week 5, and we had this discussion before. He thinks Manny's better. He thinks Chris is a better defender. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You're saying that Manny's obviously a better overall player. We'll see.
for sure. 100%.
We'll see after. But at least for this week, I know they play the Saints. I know they play the
Saints,
Panthers.
and Chargers.
So we got Roger versus Joan.
Okay, that I think that's the toughest game they have.
We got
Well,
Roger
then-
versus Andy.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Roger versus Devin.
Here. So let's break it down this way. So
Who wins in a race?
Joan for sure.
You know, if we put all the race,
I think Joan on one leg might win.
I think
Not
yeah,
Devin. Devin moves.
Nah, hey.
Devin might fall on the way. He's trying to sprint really fast.
Does Roger get off the gate?
Devin would definitely win. I'm thinking about second place. I'm not even thinking about the first because Devin definitely wins.
But
that
either
race.
way,
Yeah.
the
I think Joan will let them pick up whoever they want. You know,
I think John. Yeah, John will do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's the second captain they play?
Devin's not going to pick up anybody because they're
It's
5 hard
Devin.
too.
It's Devin.
You think
And
Devin's gonna be like,
then-
no,
Yeah,
y'all
no.
before?
And then Andy, the
and then
Chargers are
Andy
2 and
and the
7.
Chargers.
He gonna be like, nah, y'all gonna
And
play
nah.
four.
Andy was probably one of the big components as to why Angel, as the commissioner, had to make that ruling.
Yeah.
Remember,
You
the
think
Patriots,
so?
Roger can't handle. Right, Andy's the owner of the league.
Right.
You know, and I'm sure that's not
It's
behavior that's wanted in the
crazy
league.
That Andres is pretty much playing two of the owners of the league.
So he was a better owner. Yeah. Andres got the ball out. So let's see, can Roger get a tie again? If that team gets a tie this week,
With 4 players?
they're going to pick up a 5th. Someone's going to join them. But like a
Somebody's
tier
gonna
3 or a
improve.
tier. Either way, it's Roger throwing.
Yeah.
If that team gets a tie, I don't care if they pick up Jesus Christ himself. It's a good week.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
gonna
Yeah,
be-
It's a good week.
Yeah,
It's
they
a
can
good
go
week.
anything but 0-3 is
Yeah.
amazing.
And one of the teams they play,
Is the Chargers.
a team that we haven't touched on, the Chargers,
We haven't
2 and
Kurt,
7.
Andy, Sabo, Josh, Eddie, and Harold. Hulk is missing this week. They play the Panthers, Rams, and Patriots.
Here, I hate to do this to my boy, but the obvious stock down has to be my boy Kurt, who was the dud of the week. My boy got 5 catches in 6 games.
Yeah, he did not do well. He hasn't been doing well at all.
I know
But
Kurt. Kurt
stock
doesn't
up
mind
has been
stats.
Tough.
He just, if they're winning isn't following, then my boy got to get the ball. Give me a stock up though. Sabo again?
Sabo.
Andy had 50% completion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not no. Again, got saved that he's not stock down because Kurt was the dud of the week. But if we have to talk about something positive for this team, we're gonna try. Got to be Sabo.
Sabo's balling out, bro.
Six receiving touchdowns.
Sabo put himself a whole tier up.
Venezuelan pride, dog.
Yo.
16 catches. You know what? Who else, bro? Stock up Eddie, man.
Oh.
Eddie.
Great
10
editor.
catches.
Oh, for
4
the
flag pulls.
Eddie for his play.
No touchdowns though.
Oh, God
How
damn.
many
He caught a
bad
pick.
snaps though? You guys think?
He has 0 bad snaps this
Oh,
week, man.
hell
0
yeah.
bad snaps. I feel like that's a stock up on its own.
On his own.
You know?
That's a lot of snaps in one day, bro.
Yeah,
sure,
But
for
good for
sure.
you, Chargers. Who
And
do they play
yet-
this week?
The Chargers play
I know
the
that for sure.
Panthers, Rams, and Patriots.
Hey,
2-1.
they're 5 hard without Hulk.
Yeah.
They got their best 5 on the field.
The Panthers. I feel
Bold
like
take. Chargers go 3-0.
3-0.
Whoa.
3-0.
What does that put them? What does
That's
that
a-
put them in the
that's
in,
a
in the
crazy
standings?
thing.
They'll be 5 and 7 going
Crazy.
into week 4. That's 4 games.
Hunting for
Crazy.
a
Playoff spot. One of the play-ins probably.
play-ins, right.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's crazy.
3-0.
Oh, and
You heard it here first. Ernie wouldn't say that. Ned doesn't give a fuck. 3-0 Chargers. Eddie.
All right, 3-0.
Tú eres mío.
Let's move on to a
Play
team
for the play-in,
that
Eddie, man.
that started really, really hot, and now
Stayed hot.
they stayed hot. They had 2-1 week.
Missing the
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Antonio, the Seahawks.
Number 2 team in the league for me.
Yeah.
They play now the Jaguars, or the Falcons and the Giants.
Yeah. I
got
told
you
them,
guys
I told them
at
last week,
11-5.
but that's the best thing that could happen to you guys. You guys miss Antonio for a week.
And you
So
still went
guys-
2-1.
But you guys figure out some things that you guys can fix.
100%.
It's hard to keep getting better when you're,
They
know.
still went 2-1, which
Right.
is
Perra looked
crazy.
human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like no more like 6 for 6 with 4 passing touchdowns. He still was very efficient. They still
Yeah.
found ways to win.
Yeah.
Obviously they had that one blimp against the Titans, but the Titans are that team, Aniel probably didn't have to step on the field. They had their best five. That team's going to be tough to beat no matter what, especially when a team doesn't have like an Antonio. But the Seahawks, I mean, they'll be there at the end, I feel like.
Stock up Mai, 10 catches, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Okay, Mai.
One of them was a pick 6 from the 1 yard line on Devin.
I mean, that guy's black. That guy don't get tired, cuz.
At the 1 yard line, caught took it all the way to
Who's gonna stop him, Devin? We just argued about who's gonna win a race, Devin, Joan, or Roger. You wanna talk about that guy pulling Devin?
Come
on, papi, no, come on.
I see Roger working out though.
Roger been going to the gym with me, baby.
Let's go.
Chest, tricep, back, shoulders,
No more.
and a leg day once every 2 months.
I leg day once every 2 months.
Bad knees, bro, bad knees.
No,
bad knees.
man, that's exactly why he needs to do more legs.
Get on the Divine Sports Training app.
I mean, yeah, for sure, 100%.
There you go, dog.
Hey, Commanders. What do you guys think of the Commanders?
What are they? They're 6-3.
6-3.
Okay, hey, they had a bad week. They managed to stay afloat.
With Javi.
Okay.
They play now the Bucks, the Dolphins, and the Vikings.
Oh, they play Cocuyo?
Yeah, they
Win.
play Cucuyo.
3-0.
Ooh, you got them going 3-0?
3-0.
Oh, damn. Okay, Commanders.
Hey, stock up Jamel.
9-3. Ooh, they're chasing for a top spot.
Top seed. What's Jamil got?
Jamel, 8 catches, 3 flag posts, 3 touchdowns.
Melo?
Montano had 5 touchdowns receiving too.
No, but listen, that team, that's one of those
2
teams
picks?
that's going to ride on their quarterback play.
For sure. You know
Obviously,
what?
as most teams in done deal will. But
Right.
Javi's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Right.
Personality-wise and play-wise, that guy is very nice, and he'll start yelling at you.
Right.
Javi.
Montano, you saw Montano get molested by the ball?
Oh.
In the face, Joe. He hit him right
Pablo.
in the face.
And then was looking down on himself already like, what happened? Like, who hit me?
Pablo, listen, I have a Rendell helmet that I got from Worlds, and now you can use Ace's face mask.
Yeah, whatever you want, bro. You can put both on.
A la Rip Hamilton. And that, papi, that's embarrassing.
I said it.
You know, da pena.
That's embarrassing.
You know what's another team that's like very dependent on quarterback play, which we thought would be better, is the Bucks.
We thought would be better?
With Cucuyo. I thought Cucuyo
Cucuyo's
would
best
be
game
better.
was game 1.
Yes.
He didn't show up for game 1. Right?
He didn't show
He didn't show up for
No,
one?
he didn't show up for game
Oh
1.
my God, they lost
That's
4-0
right.
to the Patriots.
That's right, he did come in stretching and stuff. He came in, I see him like, we're reffing game 2. I look back, I see him go like this.
This
I get it
man
ready.
said,
Get it ready, cuz.
I have
And that's that Nico threw a pick on the first play of the game against the Bucks.
That's crazy. Who was the quarterback for them at that moment? I should have.
Fucking no, I was playing a 1-0 30-minute game at that point, Pops. Look at him pass out in the middle of the field, cuz. I was locked.
You were locked in on whatever was happening.
I came from Ocho the night before,
They
too,
lost
so
to
that
the
was-
Bengals 2-4, and then they finally, I guess Cucuyo got there after the second game, I guess, and they won 4-3 against the Falcons.
Oh, nail biter against a team that had to pick up a different player
They
every
play
day.
the Commanders, the Niners, and the Saints coming up.
Commanders,
Niners,
and
and
Saints. Ooh,
0-3.
Yeah.
think-
That Niner team, man. That Niner team is like a little, you know,
Gonna beat it.
a little fighter there. I think they get Face back now this week. They got Farito with Kevin, Jordan, Paz, Ray
There's,
Martinez.
Who they got? Who they got this
They
week?
play now. They play the Texans. They play the Bucks, and they play
The Bengals.
The Bengals.
little inside information here
Yeah.
on the Niners. Kevin
Kevin, he's busy.
is
Going to quarterback.
no. Kevin is sick. I don't think he'll be able to play going forward. I don't know if it's a drop situation. I don't know if they're going to try to go 5 hard this week and see if he feels better. But, you know, Kev, hope you're feeling better, my guy. Nothing serious like that. Nothing like that serious. No.
It's
But
not the knee.
No, not the knee. Nothing. I guess how I'd say nothing small tissue. I don't want to disclose anybody's injury.
Yeah. No.
But it's not like no hamstring, nothing like that. No Achilles, no ACL, nothing like that. God feeling. It's just, you know, something with his health that might prohibit him from playing. By the time this episode airs, he might have dropped. I don't know how serious it is. Maybe they thug it out and see how he feels. But the Niners might look different at this point. By the time you watch this video, the Niners might not be this roster.
Okay,
So
appreciate it.
take
Okay.
that into consideration.
Yeah, so that changes things.
Yeah,
for
that
my
changes
You know, it's
things.
crazy
Yeah.
because
They might get better if they pick somebody up. They might go
right.
5 hard. So
Right.
stay tuned. We don't know.
They had a solid week, you know.
How'd they go? How'd they do this past week?
This past week, they lost to the Jaguars. They beat
Okay.
the Panthers, and then they lost to the Vikings. So 1-2 they went.
Okay.
The team looked
Missing
kinda
face,
rough.
obviously. They miss
Missing
face.
Farito had 4 catches for 3 touchdowns. You know, kind of crazy. He
They didn't play well. I reffed the
not
Vikings
play
game.
well.
They lost that game 4-0.
Ray Martinez stuck up 8 catches, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he balled out.
He's good, bro. Give me someone game of the week for this week.
So
Who
coming up now, one of them is the Niners and Texans,
Which is
That's
really
the game of the
interesting.
week?
Because,
that's
first
one
one.
of the games of the week. Yeah.
Why is it the game of the week? I have no earthly idea.
No.
Ant was part of the team that went the worst game in done deal history against the Giants.
Yeah.
We have the Niners who had an awful week. Why is this game of the week? No idea. But someone has to win or they can tie, I guess.
They had a good warm up against.
Papi,
the
I'm not gonna lie to you.
guys.
Eso es tremenda mierda game of the week.
Yeah, bro.
Eso está fula, dog.
Fula said it.
That's bad, bro.
That's like the early game.
Yeah, bro, that's bad.
Why are you guys so hard on Ant? Is he really that bad? I don't feel like he's that bad.
And his dog shit at quarterback.
He threw
Yeah.
2 picks.
Unless he's in Vegas.
He threw 3 interceptions.
Unless he's in Vegas. Eddie,
6
he's behind the camera. He's nodding his head yes. He can attest. There's actually a highlight video. This guy
balled
Ant,
Hasta que se mude para allá.
bro, this guy
Bro,
Ant
look
made
at
a bro, this guy Ant made a move and threw a ball behind his back.
Ooh.
Fuada. Bro, that guy caught him.
I didn't see that play.
That guy came in. Yeah, there's a whole highlight tape of him.
Yeah.
B Julio, shout out B Julio. If you don't know who that is, he makes great videos.
He does great.
But there's a whole highlight tape for Ant, and bro, that guy went to Vegas, balled out, lost in the ship, no? Yeah, lost in the ship, but
You
then
guys had another dude, swole dude. Who?
Renee. Another done deal. He comes and goes. He lives in the West Coast, but he flies down for
The
done
way
deal.
he's smart, he's like, I play better over here, move it over here.
Yeah, bro. Hey, and you might if you're gonna stick at quarterback,
Might
we
be
love you
better,
at grown-ups at
for
safety.
you over there.
But yeah, no.
Mike Lopez, bro. 14 catches, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Bro, Big Mike.
Love
Hell yeah,
Mike.
Big Mike.
One of those-
Stuck up
Ball
for
out.
him. He's one of the
And
good.
congratulations, brother.
For sure.
Yeah?
Coming up pops.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
that's
becoming
right.
a pops,
Right,
dude.
let's
go,
Congratulations, dude.
Good job.
They're both fathers. I have a lot of kids in the league, but
Right.
Yeah.
happy Father's. I mean, happy Father's Day coming up to you, brother. It's gonna be awesome
Guys,
for you, dude.
we have like 3 teams here that are just rough, bro. The Chargers.
We talked about
We
them.
talked about them.
It's just rough.
talked about them
the
already.
Jags.
The Jags.
Give me the games of the week, though.
The Jags are rough, and then the fucking Rams. With
No, you see, look,
Naples
we'll
and
touch on them right quick because the Jags, what? The Jags were the team that picked up Gary,
They did pick up Gary.
and then I saw one highlight from Gary.
Yeah.
Which
That's all he had.
only saw one highlight from Gary, that means that's all he did. Because I mean the drip was crazy. He had the freaking white man can jump, the Wesley Snipes little freaking hat. He had the pink cleats,
He
little
looked
hitching.
good.
He looked good, but you're playing with the Jags and Peter Delgado, so I mean just keep dripping out because I think that says it. You know.
You guys were saying you think the league made a wrong choice in letting Pete be a quarterback, be a captain.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
Well, for the Rams, I'm sorry, not the Jags.
Definitely.
The Rams. He got traded.
Peter
That's my apologies.
Delgado is just.
So Peter Delgado shouldn't be a
god
captain,
awful.
is what you're
Never
saying?
Again, never again.
Never again. I
Never
don't.
again.
Listen,
He drops 2 tiers. I think he's a tier 3.
Tier 3. Listen, I'm old enough to remember our 2020, right before COVID happened. Peter, when
Right.
Don't Reap, won the at that point it was called FFWCT World's Championship.
Right.
He was the all-purpose player for that team,
Yeah.
doing it on both sides. But that was 6 years ago. He's
Yeah.
older,
That's
you know, and I think it's
Unfortunately.
just I think he's a good player, but making him the best player on the team, quote unquote, it's tough on that team, you know.
It's not it anymore. He's
I mean,
just
it's
tough.
hard to judge a player by one season. You can have a season off and come back just as good, bro.
It's crazy because the squad is like you would think they would be doing
With the
better,
Rams, yeah, because he had the
They got Gary, Elvis, Byron, Vic, JP.
And this is their
they
first
have a
week
solid
together.
squad, bro.
He got remember he started with the Jags, ended up trading to the Rams this week,
Right.
but
Yeah.
the team is very good.
The team is very good.
And then the Jags, to talk about the Jags, the Jags have Naples now at quarterback, right?
Do they?
Yeah,
That's
the Jags
crazy.
now. Naples the captain of the Jags. That team made a trade.
Right.
I know we haven't discussed them yet, but that team made a trade not this week, a couple weeks ago, where Naples became the quarter. Well, it's the Naples and Jeremy show.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's not,
Yeah, Naples and Jeremy.
Okay.
But it's Naples, it's Black Lex,
Yeah.
well, it's Andy. For the Jaguars.
for the Jaguars,
Yeah, I know it's
yeah.
Naples, it's Black Lex, it's Andy
Naples, Lex, Andy, Nick Nunez,
and Nunez
Jeremy, and Anthony Torres.
and Anthony T. So that's a pretty solid team
That is a
también,
pretty
you
good
know.
team.
Yeah,
So the
definitely.
Rams and the Jags, you know, there's still 7 games left.
yeah.
Excuse me. There's a lot of season left.
I think those are 2 playing teams right there.
I mean, look, that new play-in rule, I love it.
Yeah.
Teams like the Saints, teams like the Rams, teams like the Jags. Technically, no one is out of it yet. The Chargers, you fuck around, you have a good week, you find yourself in the play-in. Like,
Yeah.
I understand there's been a lot of chatter in the chat, whether it's Josh, whether it's Ham, whether it's Raul, whether it's DDPA, whether it's trades. But realistically, with the addition of the play, all you muertos are still technically alive.
Definitely.
Alive.
So
Muertos alive.
yeah,
What
bro,
do we
muertos
have here?
alive.
It's crazy. 'Cause that plane thing
an oxymoron, what we call that.
That plane is crazy. A lot of teams.
I love the concept of the play-in.
Yeah?
Angel,
That was smart. Yeah, I like that.
I like that. I don't know if Angel came up with that himself. Now that he's a commissioner, I know that was a.
Bro, shout out to Angel and
John
the
had
megaphone
mentioned that, I think,
and
from
running
the-
like the lead. Like that thing was so smooth. We were out of
Yeah.
there at record time.
Yeah, we were out of there. No,
Rocket time,
Angel did a
11
great job.
o'clock.
My man
Done.
just gets screamed.
I think realistically, I think by like 12:30, all games were done.
Before,
That's
I think.
Like
amazing.
12:10, maybe like
That's
12:10,
amazing.
12.
That's
All
how
games
you
were
know
done.
And we had the first game that was a 1-0 tie to
guys-
start the day.
Yeah.
You guys might not know this, but when I first got into the league, I put all the commissioners in a chat to talk to them, and I put Angel in one of them, thinking he was a commissioner.
There you go. Just a fortune teller.
And
damn.
look at that. Now he's commissioner, bro. Like,
Eres un brujo, bro.
no, don't say that.
Continue.
Don't
Continue.
say-
Show.
I gotta say something, guys.
Tell me.
Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams with 3 wins or less.
But technically,
You know,
those 7 teams are.
Four of those 7 are still in.
yeah.
Yeah. With a chance of a play.
You don't think the Saints are still in?
With Joe on that
Yeah,
position?
that's
Yeah.
one of the 4.
That's
And
one of four.
you're dumb if you think he's done making moves.
all of them are in because guys, it's football. You can still you have 2 wins. You can still.
But this
make
is
the
what I'm
team.
saying. We started with the
still
trades. We started with good teams. Now we ended with the middle of the pack.
Right.
But we say all of this to say there's 7 games left. By the
Definitely.
time y'all watch this is the night before.
Right.
Stop being soft. Stop
Definitely.
complaining that you're getting traded. Stop complaining about your situation. It's done deal.
You gotta
Fucking
play.
not-
Go
sack
out
up
there
and play
the game.
football.
Something about it.
Yeah, sack up and play football. You're all
Definitely.
technically still in it, all right?
Definitely.
Yeah,
there's
even you,
definitely
Josh.
there's definitely help and favoritism, but just don't look beyond that.
The
We look-
Illuminati has
we
always
look-
been here.
We look beyond that. We
Listen.
look beyond that.
Ernie would probably tell you camaraderie. No, fuck that. Nigga, Negra says stop being muertos, stop being soft, stop being sensitive. There's 7 games left. Play football. And if this match has offended you, hold it.
And the
Wait
Giants
till-
have 2 of the games of the week. I get one against the Cowboys. One
No, the
against
Giants.
The Seahawks.
We had a tough schedule coming up. We do.
Yeah?
So listen, it's make up or shut up. Are the Giants frauds?
Who
We'll
knows?
find out.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. And then the last game of the week is the Titans Bears. Piggy versus David.
Kiki versus
game.
David. We'll see.
It's a good game.
Listen, the Bears are feeling good right now. They made a move that made them better. The Titans are obviously freaking Titans, no pun intended. They're the Titans of the fucking league right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
You
a good
think that's
game.
the team to beat?
The Titans.
I
still
think.
the
I
Patriots.
think right
I
now.
think it's the Seahawks, bro.
I think you got
Seahawks?
the. I think you have the Titans. I think you have the Seahawks. I think you have the Patriots, and I think you have everybody else.
And the
Excuse me,
Cowboys.
the Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
And then you have everybody else.
you have everybody
I
else.
think like the
I
gap between the
believe that.
first 4 and the rest, and I would put
That's
myself
gonna
as
be
a
the
Giant.
quarterfinals for sure.
I would
Those
put
four.
myself in as a Giant in like that tier 2, but I think the gap between the 4th best team and the 5th is
It's
pretty
pretty
wide.
wide. It's
As
pretty
far
wide.
as week 3,
It's
anything
just
can happen in done deal.
The team that's built around Stritz is just incredible. I keep
Listen,
thinking about that one.
Perra
It's
and
just
Stritz, the Seahawks and the Cowboys both have tier 6s at quarterback.
crazy. Yeah.
Both who
But
Stritz
the
has been in them.
Seahawks still have Surge. I don't want to say that he's close to a tier 6, but they still have.
No,
Surge.
he's a tier 6.
The Dallas
tier
Cowboys
6.
have fucking
Genesis as their worst.
as
No,
their worst player.
listen,
after which is
Stritz was
crazy.
in the MVP race before. Perra is a former MVP.
Yeah.
These guys know what it takes to win and done deal. And then
Definitely.
obviously the Titans and Patriots, you have arguably the 2 best players in the league,
Right.
Nico and Jones. So, wow, Nico and Jones. I'm so
Jones.
sorry, Biggie Bobby. That was a Floridian slip. Don't get mad at me. I know you're gonna don't do it.
You go put this out there. I
You're
got
a
it.
grown up you're Peaky and Nico. My fault,
There you
Bobby.
go,
My
there
fault.
you
But listen,
I think Piggy takes that one because Nico got worse, definitely in my opinion.
Yeah, Piggy has a
with
squad, bro.
Meaden.
bro, Pig has a
With
squad.
Manning.
Nico's missing this week.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not gonna judge the Patriots off of this week because they have their tier 6 throwing Roger out of all people.
Right.
Who, again, who's tied before in Dundee hasn't been awful, but obviously isn't great. So I'll judge them once they do week 5. For the rest of you, we're gonna come back on the show
for sure.
next week and we're gonna find out if you're still muertos or if you did something. Oíste?
Before we go, talking MVP right quick.
Okay.
Who you got at the lead?
I would say any combination of Stritz, Dario, Believe it or not.
Dario.
His numbers say it, dude. Look at the numbers. He just went 3-0 this week. Look at the Bengals.
I understand, but no. Hold on.
Look at the numbers.
You're just throwing names out there to throw names out there.
Nico is out because he missed, right?
Not only
He's
he
no,
missed,
bro.
he had
He
a
missed,
slump
but
last
look at his touchdown advantage over the next closest person.
week. Yeah.
I think David is second in touchdowns, and I think Nico's up by like, how much is it? Can you check for me?
David has 28 passing
I put
touchdowns.
Piggy up there for sure.
After this move, Piggy's definitely up
Nico
there.
has 35.
Who's the second? Who's the second?
It's not that Nico's not high, it's that he's about to miss a
Yep,
week.
but
and he
who's
just
second?
threw like 3
He's
touchdowns.
30. You know what?
That's
Hold
what
on.
hurts his most.
35,
He threw 3 picks though.
27
You know?
is
Just look at the-
Chris D.
27. So Nico is 8 above the highest player.
Perra has 27 as
Yeah,
well.
I like Perra too.
Yeah.
Perra's up there también. And he's 8, but thing is,
And Straits has 24.
so the highest person is Nico with 35. The
Right.
next person has 27. Nico's
Right.
not gonna get any.
Right.
Let's say
Perra's gonna get 8.
Perra gets 12 because they go
Right.
3-0. He scores all 12.
Okay.
That means up 4, and they both go into week 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Up 4.
It's not that far off
It's not
for a
that
guy
far
missing a full week.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
he definitely get himself some cushion.
Again, I'm not a fan of a guy missing a week winning MVP. I don't think it's possible. I just think you lose too much. But yeah, bro, fuck that, Dario.
I don't think the defensive stats are
They
there.
call you the worst MVP of ever, and you might be, but you made the Bengals better. Even though I apologize to Griff for trading me, you don't care that you traded Griff.
Dario
I
has
love him.
25.
Be balling, bro.
With two touchdowns and then
Kinda pick
total
six
touchdowns is 27
week.
touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So right now, Stritz, Perra's in there.
Piggy.
Piki going because we're projecting Piki going forward.
Yeah.
And again,
David?
Nico be missing a week.
28?
Yeah.
No.
No?
I would put Nico over David right now.
Oh, yeah.
With missing a week. So that would be my top 4.
Yeah.
And then if I had to pick a non-quarterback,
Rodney, bro.
What about
Rodney,
your captain,
Swazo.
though?
Swazo.
yeah.
I feel like
No, Swazo.
We're
MVP
talking about
now.
non-quarterbacks.
Non-quarterbacks.
A QB's always going to win MVP.
Right,
this is for
right.
shits and giggles.
yeah.
What about Petey?
Petey's going to lead the league in catches.
He has 50 catches through 3 weeks.
Yeah. So, Grant, we can put it this way. Probable MVPs, most likely quarterback,
Yeah, these
Stritz, Perra, Nico, and I guess Piki, right? Those are probable. And I guess non-quarterback fantasy, like never going to happen, I would say Rodney. I would say Swazo so far. I'm trying to think who else. I would put Chris D right there because he had a bad week, but he's still, he's in a probably not going to happen. A lot of things have to shift, but I would put
things have to shift.
But I would still
the world
put,
shifts one way, Ernie.
I would still put my. There's people who think the world is flat. I saw on money, but whatever. I would still put my guy up there, So there's a lot to play for, guys. Not only is it for individual stats, but for mostly what happens at team sport for playoff positioning.
I see this crazy stat now. Sabo has 14 receiving touchdowns on 33 catches.
The team is 2-7.
It's crazy.
You're
right?
never
balling
gonna.
out though. I called it.
He's balling. But listen, Montano has 20 catches, 13 receiving touchdowns.
Efficiency.
That's
What
crazy.
the fuck does it have to do with what we talked about? I have no idea, but
That's
it's efficiency.
I just saw that stat and I was like, this is incredible.
You're like Rain Man, dude.
And got hit in the face, but 1 touchdown. So
And got hit in the face by 1, so you could have 14.
You could have
21 and 14.
Oh, damn.
Thank you, guys.
Guys, listen, thank you for tuning in. We have no guests this week. You all sucked pretty bad. We're
Yeah, definitely.
bringing somebody on would have been Poguto. However, we look forward to bringing somebody on next week. See you guys
get right.
on the field. Can't get Josh, listen, my boy, you were supposed to come. We were supposed to have a bunch of people that got traded, but none of them came. And then just for one more time, you did do that. You did do that.
That was bad. That was bad.
The high step was fire,
bad.
though. The high step was fire.
Oh,
But,
man.
Bobby, let the chat go moite. You're better than
Let's
that.
get better.
Go ball out with John, all right? With John. Guys, love you. Appreciate y'all.